The way people are talking about Somalis now is the same exact way decades ago people talked about the Irish and Italian immigrants. They're coming here to commit crime. They're coming here to leech off the public dollar.
How's this? No, I don't like Somalis. I don't want them in my country, and they bring absolutely nothing of value here. And I know people are gonna sit there and scream and cry, oh my gosh, the statistics, they're so racist. But at the end of the day, the facts are the facts, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
I am currently asking for a ceasefire. I'm asking for a ceasefire between the Somalis and the African Americans. Please. We got something bigger going on right now.
We're not black, we're not Arab, we're Somali. Let me start off by why we're not black. This is black, this is brown, and there's not a single person in the world that's this skin color. Do your research. Black is the absence of color. It's what you get when there's no color. It's what you get when you turn off the light. You get black. And yes, I know there's going to be those people that say Somalis or East Africans are in that racial construct, that racial typology, that racial classification. But no. Who made this thing? Who made this racial classification? It was the Europeans. The white man made it. And if a white man told me I'm a prick, doesn't mean I have to go by it. In my opinion, there's not a single person on this world, whether you're West African, East African, North African, South African, or even in the Caribbean, that's black. We are not this color. We are just different shades of brown. And I believe some people, like East Africans, don't accept what the colonial people told them they are. And other people obviously accept it and they don't care what a colonial or the people that enslaved them calls them. So right now, you're telling me if they called you back then, if they called you you're a prick or you're an idiot, you'll just accept it right now and you say, yeah, us Africans are idiots, we're pricks. Is that what you're telling me? Do the Asians call themselves yellow or red? I wonder. Now for the reason why we're not Arab, yes, we may be in the Arab League, that doesn't make us Arab. We just did that for political time. Somali people came before the Arabs. The East African people came before the Arabs. We are Cushitic people. We are Cushitic speaking people. And the Cushitic language and the Cushitic people came before the Arabs. So you can't tell me we're Arab if we came before them. We don't share the same language, and we speak the Cushitic language. We don't share the same culture. What culture do we have we've got similar to the Arab people? Come on, man. We don't share anything that's similar. The only thing that we share is Islam. And you will find a lot of Arabs that are either Christian, Jewish, Muslim, but you will never, it's hard to find a Christian Somali or a Jewish Somali. Somalis are 99% Muslim. And even that 1% gets disowned. Shout out to Chunks.
Let's talk about why Somalis say, oh no, we're not black. As a Somali who does claim her blackness, I want to explain this with love. Because that statement comes from history, survival, and sometimes pain. First, Somalia isn't a part of the Western world. In Somalia, a deeply homogenous community, there's no reason to say you're black. Everyone looks like you. For example, like Nigeria, people identify by tribe or nation, not race. Race, as a qualifier especially, only becomes relevant to most Africans when they leave their country and step into a world that sees them through that lens. During colonization, Europeans didn't just divide our land, they divided our identities. Somalis were mistakenly told, ooh, you look different, you're closer to Arab, you're better. Those lies that were told by whiteness seeded the anti-blackness that still lingers today. And because Somalia was not colonized in the exact same way as other African countries, many Somalis grew up thinking that blackness was synonymous with oppression, something to escape, not embrace. But Western propaganda is global, honey. So in the same way that they show African Americans or all Americans in general that Africans are barbaric and starving, they show African Americans to the rest of the world as lazy thugs who are not to be trusted, violent. Many Somalis arrive here as refugees and want to rebuild their lives and think, if I distance myself from this label, maybe I'll be safe. There's still no excuse. My own mother, who struggles with anti-blackness and hates my dark skin, would always tell me, don't be a yo-yo, don't be a yo-yo. It's pure ignorance, but it stems from fear and lies. Here's the truth. African Americans are the moral backbone of this country. Every right, every protection, every piece of good experience that you are having in America was built through their blood, sweat, and tears. Their resistance, their strategic organizing, their sacrifice, it's the only reason why we have a foothold here today. And as much as Somalis want to say, oh, why do you care about black issues? It's because I'm in gratitude and they deserve reverence and solidarity, not distance and disdain. So if you hear a Somali say, I'm not black, I'm not black, I'm not black. So embarrassing. Don't get offended. Pray for them. They're wrestling with a lie that's literally older than them. A lie that was designed to keep us divided. And remember, no matter how lost we are or how far we run, we're still all one. Excuse me, thank you. I'm a black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it. Alright? Everyone is keep asking, why don't Somalis want to identify as black? It's simple. The term black was never a word to begin with. Yeah. The term black, it didn't come from Africa. It came from America. Hello. Right? It was designed to separate slaves from Europeans. It was not designed to celebrate identity. It was to control it. Yeah. So, when Somalis came to the West, we didn't suddenly become black. We were labeled. Alright? Imposed. And we embrace it. Chill like that. Chill like that. Sheesh. Somalis had identity before race. Alright? Our identity comes from our ancestors, not appearance. Yeah. Alright? Blackness is a Western category. Somalia is a civilization. Big difference. We're Somalis. Chill like that. Chill like that. What's your thoughts on this?
Are Somalis considered black? I'm sorry to be the one that sparks this debate, but it has to be done. I used to be of the opinion back in the day that, of course, we're black. Somalis, look at our skin tone. But as the years went on, my opinion started to change. If you're asking, are Somali's skin tone black? Then of course, yes, our skin tone is. But then I realized as the years went on, it's nothing to do with skin tone, because even people who are considered black come in different shades of black. I started to realize that when people ask whether Somalis are black, it's a reference to, are Somalis the same as other fellow African countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, and the countries within West Africa. And then I thought, no, we're not the same as those people. Yes, we're all from Africa, but a Moroccan isn't the same as a Nigerian, and a Nigerian isn't the same as a Somali. A Moroccan isn't considered black, a Nigerian is considered black, and a Somali, for some reason, it sparks a big debate. You got Somalis who say, we're not black, we didn't go through a slave trade. I don't think going through a slave trade is what makes you considered black first. And at the same time, why are we listening to Western societies who categorize people based on their skin tones? This is a white man, this is a black man, this is whatever, this is an Arab. So my question is, because I still don't have a definitive answer, can Somalis consider themselves black? I mean, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just asking.
If this video shows up on your For You page, it's for one reason and one reason only, okay? I know you're aware of the commotion that the Somalian community is facing right now, the racism that they're dealing with, the xenophobia, the rise in xenophobia that is being hurled in their direction in their community. And I'm here to remind you to mind your black ass business. Thank ya. For better explanation, the following comparisons is not for competition, but for education, okay? A quick little educational course on the crisis that is racism. You know, the same crisis that the Black Americans here have been screaming about for ages, forever, since the beginning of time. Racism that other members of the Black diaspora allowed to happen to Black Americans under the guise that they were a better version of Black Somalians. Trump called the Somalian community garbage. He said that Minnesota was letting in garbage. He said he didn't want them in his country, in this country. He stated that Somalian people are the main perpetrators of billions and billions of dollars in welfare fraud. All untrue and disgusting claims rooted in xenophobia and bigotry. But I can't trip too much over it. And you want to know why I can't trip over what he's saying about the Somalian people in the Somalian community? It's because I still remember what he said about the Haitian community, what he said about the Black American community. I remember that. Not just them, the Latinos, the Asians, the Middle Easterns. I remember the Muslims, the Arabs. I remember what he said about all of them. Earlier this year, Trump referred to the Black American community as thugs. He stated that their children, Black kids, were born criminals that needed to be locked up and put away. He called Black attorney districts rabid animals. He said that they were criminal suspects. He stated that they were unintelligent, had low IQs. That was literally Jasmine Crockett's rollout announcement and her telling everybody that she was running for Texas Senate. That's what he said. Mind you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. In 2015, Trump called Mexican people grapists. He said that they were criminals that were bringing in drugs illegally in this country. That's why he wanted the wall. In 2017, he reportedly stated that Nigerian people would never leave this country and go back to their huts. In 2017, he called North Korea an embarrassment to China. In 2017, he said that all Haitian people have AIDS. In 2018, he said that Haiti, El Salvador, the entire African continent, He referred to them as shithole countries during a White House meeting, okay? In 2019, the entire xenophobia towards the Asian community, calling it the China virus. You understand? The Kung Fu. In 2014, in October, he said that Puerto Rico was a literal floating island of garbage. That's what he said. The next month, he said that the Haitian migrants over here were eating people's pets. This is not a comparison of competition, but just to educate you that this has always been a problem. And the first people to experience it, the Black Americans in this country, have been trying to warn everybody, but nobody listened. And now it gives a whole new meaning, a personal meaning to that phrase. If you let them do it to me, they're going to do it to you. If you really believe that this is the year of revelation, if you really believe that this is the year of reality, if you really believe that this is the year where everybody is finally facing the truth, do not intervene. Do not defend. You can feel sympathy, you can feel empathy on the sidelines. Do not stick your neck in this fight. Do not do it. Let them feel it. Let them feel it right now. Let them realize exactly the place, the true title that they've always held in the eyes of these white supremacist people. Let them finally see.
The way people are talking about Somalis now is the same exact way decades ago people talked about the Irish and Italian immigrants. They're coming here to commit crime. They're coming here to leech off the public dollar. They're here to support foreign interests. Like, there was a narrative about Irish and Italian immigrants that they came here to replace the president with the Pope. Like, people said that. That was a genuine belief that people had. That was a way that they fear-mongered about immigrants coming from Ireland and Italy.
Wait, that's awesome.
It's the same shit every single time. The only reason people are talking about Somalis like this now, or they were talking about the Irish and Italians like that back then, is because it's just fear-mongering about a scary other group.
They thought they were going to replace the president with the Pope?
There was an actual idea that Catholicism was fundamentally incompatible with democracy.
Old school
that it could not
racism
work.
was so insane, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still around. Like, we still have shit that's almost as absurd as that going on now, but it's always wild to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, after having moved past it reasonably. Oh my God.
Well, you can't tell me that, like, anti-Catholic bias still exists meaningfully when a dude like J.D. Vance can have power.
Exactly. That's why it's funny.
Like, he's an adult Catholic convert, and he's the vice president.
And he will not shut up about it.
Exactly. But my point is that, like, people will induce a psychosis in themselves to convince themselves that, like, the scary other coming into the country is somehow bad when they're just regular dudes looking for work. Like, I cannot express how much they're like Somalis or any immigrant, really. They're just regular people. And the reason politicians fearmonger about them is because they want to use your fear to gain and hold on to power.
Let's talk about Somali people. Not through the mouths of the uninformed, but through truth. Somalis come from one of Africa's oldest maritime civilizations. Traders and navigators who connected continents long before Europe drew maps. They are a nation of poets, where words govern, resolve disputes, and record history. They shaped a unified language culture, an ancient Islamic scholarly tradition, and led one of Africa's most successful literacy movements in the 1970s. Their legacy is full of leaders. Sayyid Muhammad Abdullah Hassan, he was dismissed as the Mad Mullah by European invaders, but celebrated by Somalis. He led a 20-year war for freedom. Hawa Asman Tako, a revolutionary woman who fought for Somali liberation and became a martyr for independence. Adine Abdullah Asman, Somalia's first president. He focused his leadership on dismantling the structures and mentality imposed by European illegal rule. He insisted Somalia define itself for itself. So when politicians insult Somali people, it isn't truth, it's ignorance. Because look at Minnesota. Somalis didn't arrive empty-handed. They arrived with enterprise, with community, with resilience. They opened businesses, revitalized neighborhoods, they shaped policy, they enriched the state with culture, food, faith, language, art, and millions in economic growth. And you know, here's the irony. Many wouldn't be here if the United States hadn't destabilized Somalia. This year alone, the U.S. has launched over 100 airstrikes, more than double last year. And they've spent roughly $3 billion on military operations over the past decade, with the true human and economic damage never fully counted. Yet despite bombs, exile, and disruption, Somali people rebuilt, not as victims, but as visionaries. Somalis don't weaken communities, they strengthen them. Minnesota didn't make Somalis. Somalis helped remake Minnesota. And if you didn't know, now you know.
I am currently asking for a ceasefire. I'm asking for a ceasefire between the Somalis and the African Americans. Please, we got something bigger going on right now. This is a divide and conquer situation happening in Minnesota. Y'all know we ride together when situations arise out here. When that George Floyd stuff happened, baby, we was out there. Ain't nobody was asking what type of black you was. We all felt that. So I just don't want this ignorant conversation to overshadow what's really happening. Don't give them the upper hand. Why are we acting slow? I'm asking for a ceasefire. If you like me, please put down the shots. We ain't got time. Just put a pin in the conversation. How about that? Let's just put a pin in the conversation. And after we're done with this, then we could get back to doing that. Y'all could get back to doing that. I don't even know what type of conversation. I'm gonna go finish my electrolytes because it's.
These Somalis are upset at black people. Why? We ain't did nothing to y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can go 6 months without seeing a Somali person in real life. Because the Somali people be around each other. So, if you be around each other so much, why the hell you mad at us? We ain't did nothing to you. And the people said that little Somali leaders, they voted for that man. So again, you mad at us for what? We know y'all not black. We understand that y'all Somali. And that's okay. We understand, because with Somali people have long faces. If you notice that about some of the Somali people, most of them, when you think of a Somali person, when you think of a Somali man, you think of a nigga with a long face, okay? Now, just because I said nigga don't mean I consider him black. I'm just saying, you think of a man with they got that long, slender-ass face, or they got that big old forehead. So, yeah, I just had to say that. All right, Tulu, bye-bye.
How's this? No, I don't like Somalis. I don't want them in my country, and they bring absolutely nothing of value here. And I know people are gonna sit there and scream and cry, oh my gosh, the statistics, they're so racist. But at the end of the day, the facts are the facts, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I mean, genuinely, what have they brought of value here? And I'm not saying that they're all bad on an individual level. I understand that people who lack nuance aren't going to be able to comprehend that as a collective they're bad. Individuals, I'm sure that there are some that are fine, just like any other population. But if you look at the violent crime statistics, you would see that it's not stopping when they get to America. Somalia has a terrible problem with violent crime. They come into places like Minnesota, and despite being an extremely disproportionate amount of the population, their violent crime rates are sky high. It's absolutely disgusting, doing some of the worst atrocities like raping young girls, because over there in their country, they do not value women. They do not see them as an equal, and they are totally okay with things like child marriage. In fact, when there was a law proposed to raise the marriage age to 18 years old, the protests got so bad from the grown men that the courts decided that they were just going to leave it at the age of 9. Is that what you want brought into your country? Is that what you want around your wives, your sisters, your daughters, just other human beings? Is that what you want to bring into this country so that you could feel better about being a white warrior? I'm sorry, that's absolutely disgusting. We know that once they got into this country, were they grateful? Did they work harder to make it better? No. They scammed the welfare system out of millions while Tim Walz just sat back and allowed them to do so. That's absolutely abhorrent. We know that Somalia is one of the most dangerous countries for Christians going, so why would we bring them into a predominantly Christian country where they're going to go around trying to propose their views, force their views down people's throats? Because in Islam, that's something that's seen as permissible to do. We know that they have a huge terrorism problem, so why would we invite that into our country? Just because a country is poor and struggling does not automatically mean that it's America's problem. I'm sorry, but they're poor and they're struggling because of who they are as people. So many other countries have been dealt a bad hand and they've been able to figure it out. Countries such as Somalia aren't able to because of the people living there. We do not need to import them to make our country worse. Sorry.